Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome once again to Off the Top Rope Radio right here on KQCK radio station, heard exclusively on KQCKLive.com. We're all having a good old time here. Everybody's ready to do some professional wrestling talk, get a chance to discuss a few things with some of the legends of the business. We're going to talk about that and much, much more right here on Off the Top Rope Radio, heard exclusively on KQCKLive.com. We welcome you to the program. Thank you so much for having us a part of your Wednesday, February the 6th, which today would have been the 102nd birthday of Ronald Wilson Reagan, one of the greatest presidents this United States have ever seen. So we're celebrating his birthday in style. Heard he was a big professional wrestling fan. Okay, maybe he wasn't, but regardless, we want to say happy birthday to Mr. Ronald Reagan. God bless you, my friend. All right, we're here. My name is Brian Schenk. I'm the host of the program like always. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And sitting across from me, pushing all the buttons, looking dapper and black as usual, he is, of course, Joe. Yes, this goatee is real. Carrero! What's up, big guy?
I'm doing all right. You?
Doing okay. Yeah, you know, a few things went on this week here, and trying to get myself situated, and we had to take last week off due to a couple situations, but we're back in black and perfect style. You're wearing black, I'm wearing black, it's funny we should both be wearing black because our first guest today is going to be Black Bart. That's right. I think we set this up. We didn't really think about it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like that subconscious thing that you and I did.
I was sending subliminal messages through your telephone.
Well, I had my white Cheech and Chong shirt in my hand, ready to put it on, and something just went in my head, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to wear black. I think I'm getting a message. And sure as hell, the Carrero charm kicked in. I wore the black.
I'm glad that worked.
Yep, and like I said, Black Bart, great legend of the NWA Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. He was a great heel back in the day, and he was 6'4", 285 pounds of just pure mean cowboy from Texas. And he's a good guy. Can't wait to have him on the phone. Him and I have been talking the past 3 weeks on the air, I should say off the air, about getting on the air, and he's happy to come on and talk about his career, and we're going to be glad to have him on there as well. So after that, about the 5 o'clock era out there time, 5 o'clock or so Eastern time, which is going to be about 3 o'clock here in Arizona, 4 o'clock for you out there in the Chicagoland area, for instance. We'll be talking to Jake the Snake Roberts. He's going to be coming back here on the program, and I'm really going to be happy to have Jake on because he's done such a remarkable job in terms of reforming his body, his mind, his ability, his state of mind, I could say, too. And he's also going to be asking for some help from some of you guys. And I'll explain more about that because, unfortunately, Jake has to have an operation, and it's something that he's going to need all of our help to maybe see if we can, help out a little bit monetarily or whatever else. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. And Joe, what are you doing over there? What are you playing with? You got a new toy or something?
I'm just reading something.
Oh, yeah? What are you reading?
I'm reading my... It doesn't matter.
Does it have a lot of 4-letter words in it?
I'm reading a book.
Oh, a book. Well, that's new for you. Usually just little pamphlets, But,
yeah, right. This has some big words in it, so I'm having to...
like porterhouse.
Yeah, right.
Filet mignon.
Correct.
You're reading a menu, aren't you?
Oh, is that what it is?
It's a menu.
I thought it was a book. It has 6 pages.
Give me a baked potato with no sour cream. I'd love to have one of those right now. They say sweet potatoes loaded up with all kinds of good stuff are better than baked potatoes loaded up with all kinds of good stuff. I guess there's more nutrients in a sweet potato. I'm not a big sweet potato fan, are you, though?
Not really.
Yeah. I see people order that stuff, putting the brown sugar on it and stuff.
I can eat anything I can pick wild, though.
Yeah?
Even if it tastes like crap.
So you can eat like dandelions?
Correct.
Yeah? I wonder what
I eat a lot of weeds. I've been weeding the yard, actually.
I couldn't tell if that was buttered popcorn on your lips or if that's a dandelion. An Arizona dandelion on your beard.
It's actually a dandelion / clover.
Oh, clover.
And I juiced it.
So you were looking over a dandelion clover that you overlooked B3.
That's correct.
Very cool.
And it was crimson.
Ah, crimson and clover. Like it. A little Joan Jett remake there.
That's
when I'm
right.
not such a sweet thing. All right, enough of that. Professional wrestling talk. We are here. We got it. Joe, I'm going to give you the number here to give Mr. Black Bart a call. We'll get him on the phone lines. We're also going to be giving away a pair. Is that what we're doing here? A pair of tickets?
Did you say a pair?
I think you said a pair. I think you said a pair.
I did.
A pair of tickets. Before we get Bart on the phone, if you are in the Arizona listening area, and you want to go to Encantera, hey, I made a rhyme there. If you're in the Arizona area and live on, all right. Anyway, Encantera Country Club. It's a wonderful place out here in Queen Creek. If you want to go see the Good Life Festival, there's a thing going on here this Saturday night. It's called Eat, Play, Love, featuring Tyler Florence and Duff Goldman. These are people from the Cooking Network, I believe, on cable, I guess. And we're going to be going ahead and giving these away. So if you are in that area, in Florence or Queen Creek or Santan Valley or Phoenix, anywhere, and you'd like to get out to go check out this cool performance at the Good Life Festival at Encantera Country Club, I got a pair of tickets here for you. These are free, no charge to you. So if you want to get these, we are going to give them to you. We'll probably wait till the end of the program. I'll remind you, maybe like after the show is over, the first person to call in who wants these pair of tickets for Eat, Play, Love with Tyler Florence and Duff Goldman at the Encantera Country Club. A cool performance there. They're going to be doing all kinds of things with this and that. So there you have it. We'll give those away in a little bit here. And Joe is attempting to get Black Bart on the phone here so we can talk to Bart about his career. A little bit background here of Mr. Rick Harris, which is his name here. He went through several different names as a wrestler. Black Bart, Rick Harris, Big Train Bart. Dusty Rhodes actually gave him the name of Black Bart, and we talked about that a little bit here. He said, you're my Black Bart, basically. And he went and became a tag team, I should say became one part of a great tag team with Ron Bass in Florida Championship Wrestling. They were known as the Long Riders. They went to the NWA later that year with Jim Crockett Promotions, and upon splitting with Ron Bass in '85, he feuded with great people like Ron Garvin, Terry Taylor, and Sam Houston. He's had some fantastic matches in just that world alone. So we're going to go and bring him on the phone here. Good friend of ours, a really nice guy, but don't say that too much because he doesn't like that. He's a big, bad Texan. He's a good friend of ours, Mr. Black Bart. How you doing, Bart?
How you doing, Brian?
Awesome.
You're dropping some pretty good names there. Ron Bass, Ronnie Garvin.
Oh, yeah.
I don't particularly like Ronnie Garvin that much, but he was one heck of a opponent. I'll give him that.
The Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, one of the most fierce competitors inside the ring. I remember Ronnie Garvin wrestling, no knee pads, no arm pads. He had a pair of tights on, a pair of boots, spiky blonde hair, and like I said, Hands of Stone, baby. He was one of the best.
One of the best, pound for pound, probably the toughest son of a gun that I've ever been in the ring yet. I'm saying that lightly because we're on radio. We was in a building. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but we was out there, and he when he hit you, he knocked your dead-gum head off to begin with. But I was told from inside of the babyface dressing room that he went around that building like an hour and a half before our match until he found duct tape. And he taped both of his fists with duct tape.
Wow.
And, I mean, like one roll per fist. It had to weigh like 3 pounds, two and a half, 3 pounds. And he beat me to death.
What?
The next time at the time I was a national heavyweight title holder, and he was coming after me to get the belt back because I just bluntly stole it from him on TBS.
Yeah.
But I waited. I went to the and this is an honest God true story. I went to a hardware store. When we be on the road, we was on the road like 7-8 days, 2 weeks at a time. But I found from my childhood and my daddy, I remembered there was tape called it was aluminum tape that they use mainly for air conditioning units and stuff like that. But brother, I went and found and bought me 2 rolls of that stuff, and I mean it's expensive. I mean it's really expensive. And I take both of my fists up, and the next night, I'm telling you,
yeah,
I wore him out. Ronnie Garvin was begging me to quit hitting him with my fist.
Oh.
But I don't know. Ronnie Garvin was, or Jimmy Garvin,
yep,
they're brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But Jimmy Garvin to me was one of the easiest workers in the business.
Yes, he was.
And then you get in the ring with Ronnie Garvin, and it was like day and night.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned both the Garvin brothers because we had Jimmy on here just a few weeks ago, and we had Ronnie on just after the last of the last year, and 2 of the nicest guys I ever spoke with.
Unbelievable. I understand that Ronnie is a pilot.
Yeah, well, no, Jimmy's. Yeah, Jimmy Garvin's the pilot.
One of them's a pilot.
Yeah, Jimmy Garvin.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Garvin's a pilot.
Yep.
And you just don't think about stuff like that. Them being pilot of an airplane. It's the weirdest thing. You mentioned Sam Houston.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Sam Houston and me, we go back. We go back to where he used to be a mechanic, and his daddy was the booker in the Louisiana Territory.
Grizzly Smith.
Sam, Grizz. Sam would run up and down the road. Our cars would break down because back then we drove from town to town in cars.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not. And Sam would come out 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. He was running up down the highways, keeping our cars running, and buy him a 6-pack of beer, and he was happy.
I'll tell you what. We had a chance to have Robin Smith on the phone too. That's his sister. Jake the Snake Roberts as well. So it's funny we're talking about Sam Houston because Jake Roberts will be on the air here in about 18 minutes with us. But before we go any further, if we could, Bart, I want to go ahead and I want to plug the phone number for all the fans out there because whenever we do this, we get a great outpouring of calls. And what will happen is they'll call in. My producer Joe here across the board, he'll take all the calls and he'll type up the questions and comments on the screen. And as they come in, I just read them off to you, and it should be pretty interesting to hear some of the fans out there. They may even surprise you with some of the things they know. So let me give that number.
They probably will.
The phone number is area code 480-745-1033. Wrestling fans, the phone lines are open right now. Joe's going to get on the phone and take your calls. You can do that by dialing us here if you got a question or a comment or something or a good story or whatever for Black Bart from NWA and Mid-Atlantic and everything else. Again, the phone number once again is 480-745-1033. Phone lines are open. Give us a call. Joe will pass them on here, and we'll have a good time talking to Black Bart. Now, let's go back a little bit because you talked about Sam Houston, and I'm hopefully going to have him on the show next year after we can kind of clear up his schedule. For a small guy, I remember some of the matches that you and him had. I mean, first of all, fast action pace. You guys are both tall gentlemen and both excellent wrestlers. And I'll tell you what, some of those matches you guys had, you really tore the house down on some of those house shows.
One that sticks out in my mind was up in Cincinnati. I think it was Cincinnati, Ohio, or maybe Philadelphia. One of them towns up there where the. Are you there?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, and it's one of them towns that has the inspectors got tables there at ringside, and me and Sam there was like 6 main events, and me and Sam was like one of the second or third main event of the night, and there was like 4 or 5 other main events after us. Well, me and Sam both bloodied mess, tore the tables up, tore the dadgum building down. I mean, they were going to be hard pressed to follow that match. As a matter of fact, it's still being showed. I think I heard it's still being showed on some of the websites.
Oh yeah,
but they come in the dressing room and told Dusty Rhodes that the next match that had blood, that they would cancel the show.
Wow.
And Dusty Rhodes turned around, and the building was sold out now. And this is Coliseum, like in Philadelphia, at the downtown Coliseum, and sold out, sold slap dab out. Damn. And tells Dusty Rhodes, that's it. Any more blood, we're shutting her down. And Dusty told him, said, well, I tell you what, you take your little fanny on out there and you stand up in the middle of that ring and you get on that PA system and you tell these people that the next 4 main events are canceled.
Wow.
Because I cannot guarantee you. And he, no, you got to do it. Dusty said, no, you go do it. Needless to say, the show went on.
Oh, I would hope so, man.
And it was a bloody mess. But the thing about it was, with Sam, you got in the ring with Sam. It was it was like a night off to what we respect. As me and Frank Brody was best of friends, and we would get in the ring and try to knock each other out.
Oh my God!
That's the difference. Sam was like what we call you couldn't even feel him in the ring.
Imagine. I tell you what.
Yeah, and Brody was just Frank Brody was just a difference. Amazing. And the honor they're giving me here in Texas is they're inducting me into the Texas Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
And one of the inductees is Frank Brody, Bruiser Brody, Killer Tim Brooks, Killer Carl Cox.
Man.
And I think, and then you throw in Black Bart, and you got you one heck of a foursome right there, brother.
Speaking of Black Bart, we are talking to him right here on Off the Top Rope Radio. Black Bart hanging with Brian Schenk here and Joe C. And Bart, I want to go over to the phone lines here because Joe's pretty busy tapping on this keyboard with all these calls we got coming in. A gentleman named Jim Redmond from Porter, Wisconsin. Jim says, could you tell me a little bit about your experiences wrestling in Japan, and did you receive a skull fracture from Tony Inoki?
No, I never received a skull fracture. Them deadgum Japs, they may have said that, but I never. My first match over there with Inoki was it was me and I think Barbarian against Inoki and the second in charge, and Inoki was he owned the territory.
Okay.
And I was told that if you didn't matter who you was in the ring with, your first match over there, you beat the living heck out of the guy you're in the ring with. Well, the guy I was in the ring with was the owner of the company. And he pushed me back in them ropes, and he chopped me pretty good. And, brother, I swung him around, and I lit him up. I lit him up. In other words, I hit him as hard as I could hit if I was even on a street fight.
There you go.
Up above, they have a balcony, and all them young Japanese boys are watching me beat up their idol. For 6 weeks, I didn't have no problem out of none of them Japanese boys. They respected Black Bart.
That's like when you go into prison, you punch the biggest guy out, so you don't have to be anybody's bitch, right? There you go.
And I didn't even know he was the owner. I knew he was high up.
Yeah.
But later on, after the fact, I found out he was the owner, and I never got to go back.
That's awesome. Hey, let's
there you go.
Let's keep reading some of these comments because I'll tell you, these people out here impressed me with some of the stuff. Another gentleman's calling in. His name is Roy, and Roy's calling from the Niagara Falls area, just like the old Three Stooges. Niagara Falls, step by step. Yeah. Roy from Niagara Falls. He says, why did you decide to break up the team with Bobby Jaggers? It really seemed to have worked, and he's heard about our show off of a wrestling blog. So there you go.
Man, me and Bobby Jaggers were tight. I guess Bobby's still alive. I haven't heard that he's died. But when we went out, we did that out in Florida after Dusty went. It's a long story really, but we went back to Florida to reopen the old Florida territory. When oh man, I can't think we all love beer, and beer and whiskey was as much a part of my wrestling as anything.
Yeah.
But, and I'm glad to say it wasn't dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of wrestlers, and I don't want to get on that long thing about the steroids. I've never used steroids. And I tried everything that you can imagine. But I was smart enough to try it and leave it alone and walk away from it. And I thank the good Lord to this very day that I'm still alive, and probably 50% of the guys that I wrestled with are dead.
Wow.
Because of either drugs or steroids or some connection to drugs. But me and Bobby didn't break up by... The only reason me and Bobby broke up and quit tagging together is because the territory was shut down. Bobby went back to Kansas, and I went back to Texas, and went on our different ways. That was the bottom line with Bobby.
You also mentioned him a moment ago, and unfortunately, Bobby did pass away last September, which was kind of a shock because I remember he was only 64 years of old. I'm just going on the Wikipedia page to verify the reason why.
I didn't know Bobby died.
Yeah, let me read this here really quick from Wikipedia. It says, Bobby Jaggers passed away on September 30th, 2012 from renal failure after a prolonged period of ill health from hepatitis C, which he had contracted while in the service in Vietnam. He's buried in the Dunlap Cemetery with full military honors. So, age 64, he passed away, Bobby Jaggers. So,
God bless him, brother.
Yeah.
God bless him. he was as much talked about in the dressing rooms as almost Black Bart, but almost, because I got ribbed by a whole lot other guys than he did, probably in a worse way.
Well, I can imagine that.
Bobby Jaggers, I love him and God bless him. Man, I did not know he was dead, man.
That's a shame. We are talking, of course, to Black Bart right here on Off the Top Rope. Radio got about another 10 minutes or so to spend with you here. I want to keep going back to these calls because this is great. We got a really good following. And if you guys want to try calling a couple more calls, we'll take. Joel will be happy to punch them up on the board. That number, once again, is 480-745-1033. And when you keep Joe busy, it keeps him away from the pornography magazines over there. So that's a good thing. You could let's go to this one here. Now, I'm not too sure I know what this gentleman's saying, but maybe you do. Brett Jacobson from Tampa, Florida. He says he wants to know how you came up with the trashy compactor move. I'm not sure I understand what the trashy compactor move is.
The trash compactor.
Oh, trash compactor. Okay, whatever.
Trash compactor off the top rope. And at the time, Hulk Hogan was running the ropes and dropping a leg across the guy's throat.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, I carried it one step further, and I dropped the leg across somebody's throat off the second or top rope.
Okay, yeah.
With Sam Houston, he was on the inside of the ring with his head sticking through. I went off the top on the outside, and I thought I killed him when I done that.
Oh, jeez.
But that's the reason I called it the trash compactor.
Oh, man.
It made small ones out of big ones.
That's very good. Well, let's move on here because I got another call here. Linda Roberts from San Clemente, California. She says she listens often to the show, so good for you, Linda. Thank you. And she says, do you keep in touch anymore these days with Dusty Rhodes?
I don't know. It's kind of funny because Dusty Rhodes, he's the one that gave me my break. Okay,
right.
He's the one that made me
Black
a
Bart.
superstar. He's the one that gave me the gimmick, Black Bart.
Right.
He offered me one other gimmick, and it was the Undertaker's gimmick. He showed me pictures of that thing, and we was in WWE, which back then it was a WWF, and Dusty asked me would I change my gimmick and go with this. He called it the Taker, the Undertaker, and that's all. And he had it all drawn out. So that was all Dusty Rhodes' ideal. The Undertaker with Paul Bearer and all that was Dusty Rhodes. Every bit of it. He give it, or McMahon took it. One way or the other. 2 weeks later, Mark walked in. He was the Undertaker. Paul Bearer was he'd been my manager out here in Texas for 5 years.
Yep.
He's actually a real mortician.
Yes, he was.
I can't call his name.
Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle.
Percy Pringle.
Yep.
Percy Pringle was my manager 5 years. For 5 years. When I was a world heavyweight champion out here, he was my manager.
Yep.
Out here in Texas with WCCW.
Yep.
But I don't talk. I mean, I've got Dusty Rhodes' number, but this is the way we are. If I'm in a territory and there's 30 other guys that I'm in a territory with, and we're setting up rides and trying to make it to the next building, airplane, motel rooms, restaurants, when we're trying to set that kind of stuff up, we call each other, okay? When we ain't in the same territory together, it's like we dropped off the face of the earth.
Wow. That's too bad.
And that's the honest to God's truth. We don't, as far as socialize, we don't socialize. We don't talk to each other on the phone, and it's a shame because I've got good friends that I should. If I talk more to people that I don't like than I do with people that I actually like.
Now wait a second. You and I have been talking about 4 or 5 times in the past couple of weeks. Doesn't mean you don't like me, does it?
See how that is, Brian?
Wait a second now. I think I just stepped into something.
I'm going to tell a story on you.
Uh-oh.
the first message I get when I call you, I'm gonna get this in. You tell me, hey, if you can't pronounce my last name, I probably really don't want to talk to you anyway.
Now wait a second.
That's your message.
Now wait a second. I don't want to call it.
Your name is Brian, ain't it?
Yes, it is, sir. But wait a minute. I don't want to get.
It's spelled Brian, right?
Yeah, sometimes pronounced brain. But let me back up.
Pronounce your name.
Now I know. Wait now.
That means we're friends, right?
But we are friends. But hold on a second now. Let me get this straight, because I don't want people to think that I called and left you that message on my answering machine. I always seem to get idiots who want to sell me. Right. So when Bart called me back and got my voicemail,
that's before I don't even know you.
Right.
I never spoke with you, and that's the message I get on your machine. If you can't pronounce my last name, I probably don't want to talk to you.
You know, I should jump.
Well, okay, I can dig it.
I should jump in here, Rick, and let you know that most people call Brian when they first meet him, they call him the Skank.
Oh, wait a second.
And his last name is Shank, so he takes offense to that.
There's only one person that calls me Skank, and that's King Kong Bundy, all right? King Kong Bundy. You know what, Rick? He goes,
Kong Bundy?
Oh, yeah, he calls me. He goes, hey, what's going on, Skank? He'll never call me Shank. He goes, hey, how you doing, Skank? Yeah. So
that's good stuff, brother.
Good old Chris.
You're probably just like all the rest of us. We didn't have no say so on our last name.
That's right.
Or our first name.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because people get it wrong. It's Schenk, which is Shank, right? And everybody calls in. May I speak to Mr. Brian Schneck? Who? Brian Schnick.
I got it pretty close.
You did.
I got it pretty close.
No, you got it right.
Yeah.
That's why we're friends.
I asked my wife, and she said, "Hey, I can't come nowhere close." She said that's pretty close right there. But she said she wouldn't even attempt. She wouldn't even attempt to try to pronounce it.
I'll tell you what, though.
She knew I would break it off in her ass.
I'm just glad. I'm just glad that we got past the name thing and that you and I are friends, Bart. That's the biggest thing right there.
Brother.
You got that right. I can't wait to.
Believe you me, if you weren't my friend, I wouldn't be talking on this damn dadgum phone and taking you this long.
I know that, man. I know that.
You know, I've got a. I don't know if Arizona's a long way from where I'm at. I think it's straight down the old Chisholm Trail, isn't it? From Dallas.
It might be.
Oh, from Fort Worth.
To Phoenix? I'm not
sure.
Fort Worth, okay.
I believe it is.
Okay.
The Chisholm Trail starts in Fort Worth and it ends up that way somewhere. Arizona. Y'all just crossed from Kansas, right?
Kansas? No.
Kansas. It's Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arizona.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know, because Kansas is quite north. That's in the Midwest.
I think it's Oklahoma,
New Mexico,
Texas, Arizona, isn't it?
No. I'm talking about if you leave the state of Texas, Fort Worth, and you got to go due north.
Right.
Due north, you go through Oklahoma.
Right.
You go through Kansas.
Yep.
And the next state is Arizona.
Well, if that's the case, they have to make a really hard left and go back south again, because Arizona's right next to California. So
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how that would be
maybe,
the next.
Maybe but anyway, my point is that I thought the Chisholm Trail ended in Arizona. Well, rather you have to cut south.
It could,
or you have to cut no matter which way.
It could do that.
That was my whole. Yeah, I'm just saying, you could probably get there doing it that way.
Well, that might be the long way, but I think you could probably get there. That's for sure. I don't know.
Well,
but
see, now think about it. When there was a certain way, they couldn't drive a herd of cows over some different range of mountains and valleys. They had to go weird ways.
Well, let me read this really quick. Let me read this.
Go ahead.
I got to read this, and we got to let you go because we got to get Jake on the phone here. Let me just read this really quick. It says the Chisholm Trail was a trail used in the 19th century to drive cattle overland from ranches in Texas to Kansas railheads. The portion of the trail is marked by Jesse Chisholm, went from the southern trading post near the Red River to his northern trading post near Kansas City, Kansas. Texas ranchers using the Chisholm Trail started on that route either to go to the Rio Grande or San Antonio, Texas, and went to the railhead at the Kansas Pacific Railway in Abilene, Kansas, where the cattle would be sold and shipped eastward. So there you go. In terms of coming back to Arizona, I don't see anything on here yet. But
there you go. That's what I thought you was going to ask me another question about wrestling, but you got something. I want to get this in real quick.
Please.
Wait a minute. I'm sitting here watching Matt Dillon Gunsmoke on the Western Channel.
All right.
And on that wall back there in the back, it's got a poster up there. It says, "Wanted, dead or alive, Black Bart."
Really? Is it you?
That's funny.
But anyway.
Oh, that's awesome stuff. Bart, I tell you what, we're gonna have you back on the show here down the road because there's so much we haven't discussed with you and your great career, and I know if we give you a call here down the road a few months ahead, we'll get you back on and have another talk. Would you like that?
Well, just let me know when you want to talk.
You got it. We'll discuss more about that Chisholm Trail.
All right, we appreciate it. Hey, tell Jake the Snake, old Bart said hello.
You better believe I will, my friend. I will definitely tell him that. And also, I wanted to let you know before we go, Boris Zukov emailed me today when I told him that we were going to have you on the show. He said to make sure he said a very special hello to you.
My friend Boris.
Yep. He said to make sure to say a very
Boris,
special.
Boris is my friend, brother.
You got that right.
But I know we're on the big time radio and all that stuff. But his nickname was Buffalo Head.
Yeah,
don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Whatever you do, don't tell nobody. But dadgum, his nickname is Buffalo Head. Ain't a dadgum thing you can do about it. We love y'all and love y'all, you fans that remember old Black Bart.
Yeah.
I'm still kicking. I got some stuff coming up.
Nice.
I'm going to be on that deal in Charlotte, the Fan Fest in Charlotte coming up in August. Me
Wonderful.
and Bass. They're having some kind of around here close. They're having some kind of benefit for me. I just had surgery, and I don't know. I give all the praise to God, and He's been with me every step of the way, and He will be with me to the day I die, and I'll walk in glory with Him, and I'll be doing main events in heaven with all them ones that are dead when I die. And I love every dadgum one of you.
What a way to end it, man.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Bart. You take good care, buddy. We'll talk soon, okay?
Bye.
See you, buddy. There you go. Black Bart checking in with us there from NWA, Mid-Atlantic. He is definitely one of the greatest I ever talked to. He's just a stitch, man. He's so much fun to talk with. You want to talk about a true, genuine Texas cowboy who kicked a lot of ass in his day at standing at 6'4" and 285. Boy, he was one of them, man, and I was really thrilled to get a hold of him because, I did send him a message, and he called me back, which I was really thrilled and honored, and just good to have Black Bart on the phone. So he's very well known in the wrestling world. We're going to get Jake the Snake Roberts here on in just a moment.
Hello?
Jake the Snake Roberts, Brian Shank, and Josie, live on the air here off the Top Rope Radio. How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good, bro.
Good, man. You sound great. I apologize earlier this morning. I happened to wake you up out of a nap, and I apologize for that. But
yeah, it's okay. I'll piss on your grave.
You and about 50 other people. So anyway,
yeah,
Jake.
there's gonna be a long line.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey,
There'll
Jake.
be a long line, I'm sure.
You got to make a guy feel good. I'll tell you right now. Hey, Jake.
I do my best, man.
Jake, I got to say one thing, and I talked to you off the air last week, and I really meant what I said. I want to bring this public and everything. I'm extremely proud of what you've been going through, man. The last time we talked, you talked about eventually getting into it. It was very, very early with the YRG with Diamond Dallas Page. Been busting your ass here for about the good last 5 or 6 months. We saw some before and after pictures of you here on the internet. And, Jake, you look damn good, man. You're down about, 45 pounds, you told me?
60.
60 pounds.
Yep.
Tremendous, man.
60 pounds, man, and, I got about 15 more that I want to do. But I think it'll be easier for some reason after I have the surgery, so I can get to where I'm doing things again. Man, right now I'm just doing my legs and stuff, so it kind of limits you, and that's kind of frustrating. But no, I plan on by April to be at my weight, which is I want to go to 230.
230.
Wow. So that's pretty nice to go from 307, 308 to 230.
Man, that is amazing. That's a hell of an accomplishment, too, in that amount of time. And I got to tell you something. We had Diamond Dallas Page on a couple years ago, and he was starting to tell us a little bit about the YRG. And, I guess a lot of people out there of the male persuasion think that, yoga, it's not for guys. It's a chick thing. Tell us what's so great about his program. What makes it so cool and stimulating?
results.
Yeah. Good one.
That's what makes you cool, man. I mean, that, and you know, it's not jumping up and down like a friggin' idiots like some of this stuff is, and it's not sitting in the corner and humming. You know,
right?
It's the fact that you're doing stuff at a reasonable pace, and you're focusing on everything and everything that you're doing, and you start gaining your balance. The strength starts jumping right away. I mean, and I think what surprised us most, I know it's what surprised me, was the fact that, you mean I'm getting stronger and I haven't picked up weights? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know? I always thought to get stronger you had to go lift weights.
Sure, makes sense.
You don't.
Okay.
You do this stuff, and it's simply that dynamic resistance stuff, man. And you do it, and the strength starts to come. You do it, and the balance starts to come. You do it, and your brain starts to fire, man.
Wow.
And it's just all aspects of it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's more than losing weight, man. It's what it does to my mind that excites me, too, because my mind is firing now. I'm seeing things more clearly. I'm feeling things. I got to tell you, getting sober, man, what sucks is when you start feeling everything. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Emotionally, you know. Mm-hmm. Normally, you said emotion to me, and that meant 12-pack.
Yeah.
You know.
It still does to me.
Or more cocaine, you know. I mean, it's like, please put me back in that dentist office chair where the wife would say, I just want you to listen to me. Okay, God, please pull my friggin' teeth. You know? Or you better take my left nut. I don't give a shit. Please just don't talk to me and make me feel.
I hear you.
Well, the reason I was like that, man, is because I had such a train wreck behind me, and I did not know how to accept things. If you get into a habit of, saying F off to anything that is confrontational, anything that has to do with the truth, habits are hard to change, and getting into this stuff, doing the breathing. The breathing has really helped me, I mean, as silly as it sounds, at first it sounded silly, but now, if I get pissed off at somebody, I just kind of find my little spot, man, and just breathe through it, man,
That's awesome.
Because bottom line is, it's so awesome to let somebody say something that normally would have fired me right up and had me ready to, rip their face off.
Yeah.
And now I just look at them and smile. It really pisses them off,
Yeah. Well, in case
when they think they're getting under when they think they're under the skin and you're looking at them and thanking them, it drives them right up a wall.
Nice.
So that's a good thing.
It is. In case you're just tuning in here at Off the Top Rope Radio with Brian Shank and Joe C., we are speaking, of course, of the great legend himself, Mr. Jake the Snake Roberts, on Off the Top Rope Radio, heard exclusively on KQCK Live. And if you want to give us a call in, what we're going to do, Jake, is we're going to take calls, but we're going to take them off the air with Joe C. here. He's going to write them down, put them up on our screen, and we'll read some comments and some questions from all the fans out there. And if you want to do that, guys, all you got to do is pick up the phone, dial in at 480-745-1033. That's 480-745-1033. Now, Jake, we talked a little bit about you dropping the weight and you're almost where you want to be, but there is something that's holding you back. I think a lot of people out there. I saw a video on TV the other day on the internet, and I was really taken aback by it. It was very emotional and very real. You are having a severe problem with your shoulder. I want you to kind of discuss a little bit more about what it is, and you are calling out for the fans to help. And I want to know how they can help and tell us what can be done.
Well, unless you got a magic wand, it's time for the surgery. I'm having surgery Friday morning.
This Friday.
And I just want people to know that I am totally blown away by the help that has been given to me. Bottom line, the surgery was something I had to do. Again, I used to medicate myself, so I'd make it through moments, whether it be wrestling or whatever. I just take my my unclassified meds.
Yeah.
alcohol and coke and get through it.
Jeez.
Well, it takes a toll. And, I can't imagine how I got injured. I mean, I was just wrestling for 37 years. It must have been something I did in my sleep. But,
Yeah.
Shoulder was screwed up. I was in a rehab a few years ago, and the shoulder flared up, and I went and see the doctor, and they said, you need to have somebody go in there and clean that out. Because basically it had like gravel in there, because I have a bone spur that's about 2.5 inches long sticking off my shoulder, and the spur is rubbing the tendons and ligaments rub across it, and of course they're flaying. It's basically sawing them in half.
Ouch.
And eventually it would saw them in half, but we went and seen the doctor, and the doctor said, this needs to be done, but I had a problem, man. I don't have insurance, and so I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Well, Diamond Dallas and Steve, the guy that works with Dallas on this movie thing, he said, there's a thing that you can do. It's called Indiegogo. And basically, you just put a little film clip out there talking about what you're going to be doing. And you let people send money into it. I'm like, seriously? People are going to send me money to pay for my shoulder? Are you kidding me? And we did the film clip, and guys, I'm hearing feedback there, and it's driving me nuts.
Oh, it might
either quit talking to that guy or quit talking to me, because it's really confusing to hear.
It's our
talking to somebody else.
Sorry, it's our producer.
Thank you. I thought I could stop that.
No problem.
So, we went on the thing and did it, and I'll tell you, man, to do it was, I had to go through some of those damn feelings, man, because, it's embarrassing, man, to let people know that, hey, dude, here you were, something very big and something that was off the charts as far as making money and stuff, and you don't have a nickel left. Yeah, you're right, I don't, man, between ex-wives and my drug problems and my bad money management, I didn't have a nickel left.
Wow.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
But to make that public, man, it makes you feel pretty ashamed of yourself, and but because I've agreed with Dallas to shut up and do it his way, because I did it my way for 57 years and just really made a friggin' mess of things, to do it his way, we did it. And we put that out there, and lo and behold, man, 13 hours later, we had reached our goal of, get the rest of your clothes, bro. The rest of your clothes, bro. Or you don't need those, or we had raised up to $9,200. I mean, and it floored me. I mean, I just started to cry, man. I talked to Scott Hall about it a few days ago, and he goes, Jake, isn't it amazing that fans love us more than we love ourselves?
Yeah.
And that's the truth, man. You beat yourself up on the road or whatever by doing the things that we were doing wrong, and you have no self-esteem, You're disgusted with yourself and the way you've lived your life, and the good moments seem forgotten. It's just the bad ones that stick their nose up and wave at you. And for the fans to come up with that in 13 hours, man, and it just kept growing, I mean, there was a poker player from Australia that offered to pay for the whole thing himself.
Wow.
And which blew me away again, and to hear the comments that have been sent to me, man, just really uplifted me, man. And I'll never be able to thank people enough. It's their encouragement that keeps me going.
Well,
I made the decision to do the right thing, but you have good days and you have bad days, man.
Sure.
And but all I got to do is look at this Indiegogo thing, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? These people are still giving money. Of course, you know, I need to have dental surgery. I need to have some more stuff done. I'm thinking about having a set of nice cans put on my chest, man. What the hell? Let's go for the full Monty. And I can really pay the fans back by letting them see my tits.
Hey, all right.
So, you know,
well, Jake,
Brian, I'll let you play with one. How's that?
Oh, hey, we'll do it at the Collar Volley. Hey, we'll do it at the CAC in April because I'm going to be there. You're
there
going to be there.
Brother.
I figure we do something.
Nothing left to me, brother. No breastfeed you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I figure this is going to happen anyway because every time I go up to the CAC every year, we do on-camera interviews with all the talent, and I figured maybe you and I can do one anyway, and then we can pop the boob out and we can see what happens from there. Bada boom.
What the hell, man? Why don't you have a tit and I'll have a tit, and then we'll be 2 tits.
You're a crazy man. Wait, let me ask you a question, Jake. With the shoulder that you're going to have the operation on, if I'm not mistaken, that's on your left one. Is that from all the years from doing the DDT as well? Does that have a lot to do with it?
No. God, no, man. You know what? Who the hell knows what did it? Mm-hmm. I just know that, 37 years, what straw was it that broke the camel's back? You got a whole damn bale of that shit. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really matter, man. It's just abuse, man. Mm-hmm. And all the wrestlers put themselves through it, and it wouldn't be what it is except I didn't take care of myself, man. So there's another reason for people out there to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Don't be a tough guy and don't go to the doctor. I'll show them how smart I am, you dumb pack of shit.
Yeah.
Well, do the right thing.
We had a lot of people on that video that we posted it and we shared it on the different sites and stuff, and there was a lot of comments that people were making about the video, and a lot of the comments had to say, why doesn't Vince McMahon pay for the operation? He's got all kinds of money. Jake worked for him for all these years. I mean, did that ever cross your mind about going to?
No, it doesn't. No, man. Vince has done a lot for me, putting me through rehabs. But it kind of frustrated me in the beginning back whenever I was in a rehab, and then went to the doctor, and I'm like, wait a minute. So you guys will pay $30,000 or $40,000 for this rehab, but you want to spend $5,000 on getting my shoulder fixed so I can get up and work.
Yeah.
And that was frustrating, but that was just, that's wrong. I mean, it's not Vince's responsibility to make sure that I have friggin' insurance, okay? Mm-hmm. There's 2 arguments there. You could have paid me more, or I could have done better with my money. So what are you going to do, man? I want to thank the WWE for sending me to those rehabs, man, because, maybe going to those rehabs, it finally got me in the right place. And I'm really excited because it looks like that my good brother Scott Hall is going to make it to the crib here, and
nice.
He's going to a rehab now for 30 days to take care of some issues he's got with his heart. Mm-hmm. And once he gets that checked out to where we can, stay on top of those things, he'll be here at the crib with us, man. And I'm really excited because, to be honest with you, I need Scott here because, Dallas and I, we talk about things when things happen with me. When you're an addict, you have things that come up and your mind plays games with you. And I can't bounce things off of Dallas that he understands sometimes. Mm-hmm. He's never been an addict or a drunk. And to understand those feelings, you have to be that.
Sure.
And so it'll be good to have Scott here, number 1, to help him get on the road to recovery, and number 2, to help me continue my road to recovery. Wouldn't it be an awesome thing to someday say Jake Roberts is being inducted to the Rehab Hall of Fame, and that's for a good thing? That'd be, here we are, president of the rehab. Well, excuse me, that's just, put a little levity in there, man, because really right now my life's about getting myself healthy, and but me getting healthy is going to allow me to help others.
Nice.
And not only helping them, but I'm helping myself.
That's cool.
Well, I want to go. That's good.
I want to go to some of the people who have called in and written in here about you. Of course, we're speaking to Jake the Snake Roberts here with Brian Shank on Off the Top Rope Radio. KQCKLive.com is where you can hear the show exclusively. I got two callers here. One of them says he's Diggity Dak from Clarkville, Minnesota. That's his little nickname there, Diggity Dak. He says, I hope
so.
I hope so, too. Now, he's a good friend of the show. He says, I saw a picture of Jake the Snake Roberts on Wrestling Site courtesy his Twitter account, and I wish him continued success using the DDP yoga. And he also says, was the feud with Macho Man Randy Savage his favorite in the World Wrestling Federation?
I don't. It's hard to label any of those feuds as a favorite. It was certainly exciting. Probably one of my most favorite moments in this business has been when that snake bit Randy, because I really enjoyed the shit out of that.
Yeah, I bet.
In fact, I think I'm getting wood.
With your new boobs.
Oh, well, sorry about that. Yeah, you want my boobs. My God, could I have a party with myself?
Now listen, now we got to definitely do an on-camera interview at CAC.
Yeah, we'll go there. We don't want that on tape. There would be a DVD worth watching.
Pick your poison.
My God.
Pick your poison part 2.
Yeah, pick your ha-ha. Okay. No, I've had too many great moments in this business, man. I mean, I look back and I think, my God, which one's the best?
Yeah.
I mean, my God, please.
Yeah, you and Ricky and you and Ronnie Garvin, and my God, there's been so many greats.
Yeah, man.
Rick Rude.
Go on. Myself and Lynn Denton, Rick Rude, Bad News Brown, Andre.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on and on, and Earthquake, and oh my God, my ex-wife. That wasn't in wrestling. No, that was just a friggin' feud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
she's a wonderful woman, and I am thankful for my ex-wife because she gave me some beautiful children, and thank God that there was somebody there that was able to take care of the children that I fathered, because I damn sure wasn't a dad, and I'm ashamed of that. But I'm working towards a better day.
Good for you, my friend. That's all you can do in life. And before we go with Diggity Dak, he also said, just let Jake know that as a kid growing up in the 80s, I always believed every word he spoke in his promos. So there you go. That's what it was all about, right?
Well, I was serious about what I was doing then, and unfortunately, I took drug use and alcoholism to the same level. I worked hard at that shit, too. So, I want to say this, that, I never met anybody in rehab or in jail that said, when I was little growing up, I wanted to grow up and become a drug addict or an alcoholic. And the lesson there is, if you don't want to get there, don't start.
Right.
And
good advice.
I really encourage all kids out there, man, if you ever think about you might want to do this or that, look at some of my history, man, and just ask yourself, really? Don't do it.
There you go. Well, I want to get to one more question here from our callers before we have to go, because I always make sure we get the callers on first. Rick from Lubbock, Texas is calling in. He says, when you turned when you turned babyface after the Honky Tonk Man match, was it a good thing, or were you kind of bummed to be a babyface?
I was bummed to be a babyface. God, I mean, it's just much more fun being a heel because you can do so much more. As a babyface, you're expected to do certain things. That wasn't much fun for me because I kind of like just following whatever it came out of my head, and that was pretty scary sometimes.
Still to this day.
It still is.
Well, with you wanting to have 2 boobs on your thing and sporting wood, that would be a little scary today.
Yeah, well, you know what? I bet I stick the trend, man.
Call you
just so I won't be first, why don't you go first?
No, I don't want to do that. No, that's okay. I like my boobs the way they are.
This boobs for you,
I can use a bit more in my butt area, but I think my boobs are just fine, Jake. I'm not going to touch those, man. But
it scares me that you're calling them boobs.
Well, that's what I call my wives, So, but listen, Jake, I got to end it by saying this. First of all, awesome job you've been doing. We're very proud of you. I know many of us on the internet and all your fans, that's all I can read and say. We're very proud of you, and please keep it up. The other thing is, we wish you the best of luck this Friday with your surgery. We hope that maybe next week we can get a chance. Maybe I'll give you a call after a couple weeks, check in on you.
Absolutely.
See how you're doing, because we do care about your well-being, and we're really proud that you're turning things around and you're making a hell of an effort. I believe you told me 80-something days now sober you've been going?
Over 90, man.
90 days.
Actually.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, man. I get to go get my chip tomorrow.
Very cool.
My 90-day chip, and That's cool.
That is cool.
And again, I just want to thank for everybody's love that's been out there, man. And just know that, I'm working hard on this recovery, man. But
good for you.
How can I lose with everybody's help?
No, you can't.
I don't see how I can.
And you know what else, too? I remember the last time you and I talked on the radio, we had some phone issues, but pretty good now, right? We did our homework here.
Yeah. You actually woke up and I guess you were scratching your ass or something before, but now you're playing with my tits, so there we go.
You're a crazy man, Jake. But listen, good luck on Friday. I know you'll kick its ass like you always do in life, and just keep going strong. Yeah. We'll touch base again very soon. I look forward to seeing you in Vegas, brother.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
Right, take care. All right, Jake the Snake Roberts right there checking in with us. He's letting us know he's going in for surgery on Friday to get that shoulder repaired. If you saw the video online somewhere on the internet, you saw what great pain he was in. It was amazing. Raised over $9,000 by the wrestling fans in just a few short days to help pay for his surgery. He's talked about how he's lost money in this business, whether it was due to drugs or stupid mistakes or ex-wives or whatever. It just goes to show, like they said in Rocky III. I think it was Apollo Creed looked at Rocky and said, it takes a hell of a man to change, and you did. And that's what Jake the Snake is doing. So good for you on that, Jake. You sound great, man. 90 days almost sober here. Dropped 60 pounds on goal to reach 75 pounds. Be down around the 230 mark. That is totally fantastic. So thank you, Jake the Snake, for calling, and thank you to all the people called in. And, Joe, before we give away those tickets, because I want you to tell us more about this event, I want to let everybody know, too, that if you want to get in and be a lucky winner today for an autographed picture of Jake the Snake Roberts, all you got to do is send me an email. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to pick a winner from all our callers today, and I'm also going to pick another winner besides that. So I'm going to pick one winner who was on the air and one winner who was not on the air. So based off of these people, Joe, go ahead and move the old magic mouse around, and we'll pick a winner here really quick, and I'll say stop. And wherever that cursor lands on, that's the person that's going to get it, and we're going to say stop. And it's going to be Rick from Lubbock, Texas, the gentleman that called in about the honky-tonk man question. So, Rick from Lubbock, Texas, you call in. I should say you email me. And when you email me, I'll make sure I get that picture out to you. Just need an address and let me know who you are, that you did, in fact, listen to the show. And you can do that by emailing me directly at the radio station's website and email, which is Brian, B-R-I-A-N, at KQCKLive.com. Once again, Brian, with an I, B-R-I-A-N, at KQCKLive.com. Rick, you email me, tell me you're from there, tell me the question you answered and all that stuff. You win an autographed picture of Jake the Snake Roberts. Fantastic as well. And anybody else, if you're the first person to send me the same address and the same email there, you will also win an autographed picture of Jake the Snake Roberts. So there you have it, Brian at KQCKLive.com. Now, Joe, let's talk about this right. This is cool because if you live in the Arizona area, anywhere near like Phoenix or Mesa or Tempe or Santan Valley where we're at, this is a cool event. Tell us about this.
Okay, this is going to be at the Good Life Festival at Encantera Country Club, which is a great place out in the East Valley here in Santan Valley.
Yeah.
This is, they call it the Eat, Play, Love event.
It's
going to be from the Food Network, bringing Tyler Florence and Duff Goldman and a lot of the real famous chefs.
Yeah.
Even the cake guy, the guy that does all the incredible cakes. I'm not sure if it's him. I think it might be.
From Cake Boss.
But
he's going to be there?
It's going to be, it's going to be great.
Oh, far out, man.
Is
that one day only on Saturday?
It's one day.
Nice.
And they're going to be doing wine tasting, testing, lots of different foods that they're going to be making, and, don't double dip.
Yeah, don't double dip, guys.
Don't double dip.
No, don't do that. That's cool.
But we're going to I'm going to clear, what I'm going to do is, because we got lines running around, I'm going to clear the lines. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to take the first caller.
First call, sure. Yeah.
And do me a favor, though. Only if you're local, because if you're not, it'll be very hard to deal with this. So if you're not local, or if you're not going to go to this event this weekend, then don't call in. It's even hard to clear the lines. I pressed this one and that one rang.
Well, maybe see if they're local. Go ahead and ask them. See, are you a local?
No, that one's not.
Not. Oh, you can tell by the area codes coming up.
Of course, they're gonna go. Hey, I was local. That's my number that I used to have.
I'm gonna be in Phoenix on Wednesday. What are you
so
talking
I'm clearing
about?
the lines here.
Yeah.
I'm clearing the lines. All right, I'm gonna take the first call.
Okay, cool. This is cool, man. Because if you're a fan of those cooking shows like I am, the home show stuff like that, that's sweet. Now, is that a local call coming in?
Yep.
All right. Who is that? Let's get them on the air. Let's see if they want to come on the air. You want to come on the air? Hello.
They hung up.
They hung up. We'll take the next call. You're gonna give away a free pair of tickets to the Encantera Good Life Festival. This is the place that we saw people like Eddie Money, Pat Benatar, We saw Styx play there. That was a fantastic program.
KQCK.
So many great people have been part of this Good Life Festival at the Encanterra Country Club. Eat, play, love. That's 3 of the things that I do in my life. I like to eat, I like to play, I like to love. You know, it's 3:30. We can go ahead and end the show. We can take a call off the air.
Right.
Oh, he's going to call now. We'll do it right now. The phone lines they're ringing up here, man. Look at this. All right. So anyway, listen.
KQCK.
We're going to see if we can get someone to win these tickets.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. She local.
What is your name? Karen. Yeah, Karen, I'm going to go ahead and put you... Huh?
Uh-oh. She's from Guam?
No. You won the tickets.
Yes.
Yes, but I'd like to put you on the air. Karen, that's important to do.
Yes, it is. When you win, we got to get you on the air.
All right, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. What's your last name, Karen? Herbert. All right.
She doesn't want to come on the air and talk to us? What's wrong with these people? Get on the
All
telephone.
right, Karen, send me an email to Joe at KQCK Live, and I'll go ahead and get those tickets to you.
There you go.
All right.
It's easy to do. Congratulations, Karen Herbert. Where'd she say she was calling from?
You know what? I didn't even ask. It flustered me that she wouldn't go on the air there.
She didn't.
I forgot to...
That's okay. It
what
doesn't
is
matter.
wrong?
That's all right. Maybe she'll let you know when she gives you the email. But anyway, we're glad that someone can go to that program. That's going to be a fantastic event. If you've ever been out to the Encanterra Country Club, it's amazing. So I know people out in the areas like Kansas and Maine and Guam right now are going, what the hell is Encanterra? But it's a great place. We got to get a little local feel into our show here. So anyway, listen, thank you to our great guest today, Mr. Black Bart. Thank you to Jake the Snake Roberts. And thank you to all the fans who called in, everybody who gave us a buzz. We appreciate that. Rick, if you got that information, you can send me the email, Brian, BRIAN at KQCKlive.com. You email me. I'll give you the tickets for free on that. And I should say not the tickets, but the autographed picture of Jake the Snake Roberts. And the first person that emails me to that address as well that was not on the air will also get an autographed picture. So it's easy as done, easy as pie. We'll talk to you next week right here on the 13th. That's right, February 13th, one day before Valentine's Day. And Joe, I'm going to bring you a big old chunk of chocolate with a big heart on it.
How about a mango?
Mango's good. Mango's good.
That works.
And a banana.
All right,
I know,
perfect.
Yes, I know you like bananas. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and let you go. But thanks again, everybody, for listening. We'll talk to you next week right here on KQCK Radio. Off the Top Rope with Brian Shank and Joe Senior. Even Joe Senior was hanging with us today. We'll talk to you next time.